Hey guys, Blazo507 here. I'm bringing you a deck profile for my Fabled Synchro deck. Before we start, I would like to have an announcement. I will be merging channels with a friend of mine, Mr. Dizzy012. We will be merging channels on my channel. I will most likely have a section for my videos and his videos in different sections. So, we just thought, because I upload a bunch of dual videos and he uploads a bunch of other videos related to the metagame and discussions and stuff. You might want to check that out when we finish the merging and stuff and he starts posting videos. So yeah, that'll start happening pretty soon. I have a deck profile here for you. My Fabled Synchro deck, like I said. I'll be starting with the Synchro monsters and the monsters, the spells, and the traps. So yeah, let's get into that. I have one shooting star, just because shooting star, you know. One Fabled Leviathan. He is a level 10. He is a 3000 beater, and when he's destroyed, when he's sent from the field to the graveyard in any way, I get 3 Fableds from my graveyard and add them to my hand. That can include him, putting him back in my Synchro deck. One Trishula, because Trishula, she's good. Remove 3 cards. One Colossal Fighter, he's level 8, 28 beater, and he's an infinite wall. If he gets destroyed by a battle, I can just bring him back. So, that's really good. I do not run the, I can't remember what it's called, I'm sorry. I have one Stardust Dragon, just because Stardust Dragon. One Arcanite Magician, because I run the Tricky in my deck, and he's fairly easy to summon. I pretty much remove 2 spell counters and pop 2 cards on the field, then synchro for another card using him, most of the time anyway. One Ancient Sacred Wyvern. You might know about this card, you might not. He is a pretty much OTK guy. If I get the chance, I will OTK using this guy, using other synchros, because he gains the difference between me and my opponent's life points if I'm winning. So he can really beat the opponent pretty quickly. Next I have one Black Rose, you know, clear the field. One Brio, because this is a Fabled deck, I discard a lot of cards, and he can bounce a card on the field by discarding a card, and yeah, they get all their effects by discarding. 2 Fabled Reagan, because Fabled Reagan, if I have 2 or less cards in my hand when he's synchro summoned, I can draw it until I have 2 cards in my hand. One Catastor, you know, Catastor. One Fabled Unicorn. If me and my opponent have the same amount of cards in their hands, I can negate the activation of any effects that he activates. And Double Formula, just because shooting star. Now I have my monsters. One Honest, because I have a lot of light monsters in the deck. I will have one Sangan, because Sangan, you know, search, most of the cards have 1500 or less attack. One Morphing Jar, just because he discards all the cards in my hand and their effects activate when they're discarded, and I reset my hand. 2 Tricky, because Tricky, I discard 1 card from my hand and special summon him. He's really good for synchro summoning. Fabled Kushano, what he does is when I have him in my graveyard, I can discard a Fabled monster to add him to my hand, so I usually get the discard effect for my Fabled monster and add a level 3 tuner to my hand. It's really good. One Mizuchi, I only run 1. I'm kind of thinking about running more than 1, because he pretty much what he does is he discards a Fabled monster, special summons himself, usually special summon the discarded monster, and special summon 1 level 2 or lower monster from my hand, which is most likely going to be my Synchro monster for that. 2 Lurie, because when he's discarded from my hand to my graveyard, I special summon him, and he's a level 1. He's used for bringing out formula pretty much. 2 Ganashia. I don't run more than 2 Ganashia just because I think it might slow down the deck, because I don't want to have too many dead draws with the deck. 2 Suburl. Oh, I forgot. Ganassia, when he's discarded from my hand to the graveyard, I special summon him just like Lori, and he gains 200, so he's an 1800 beater by then. 2 Suburl, when he's discarded, I special summon him. He's a level 2 tuner, really good. I mostly use him with the Tricky. 3 Cruz, when she is discarded from my hand to the graveyard, I can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Fabled monster. Something I like to do is that, pretty much. 3 Chawa, because I discard a Fabled monster and special summon him. He's a level 1 tuner. I usually use him with Luri to summon Formula. 3 Grimro, because when I can discard her from my hand to the graveyard when I have a Fabled monster on my field to add 1 Fabled monster from my deck to my hand. 2 Pot of Rice. I'm going to be discarding a lot, and I'm going to run out of my deck kind of soon because I draw a bit more, and he refills my deck and gets cards out of my graveyard that I don't want in my graveyard. 1 Mind Control. I can take control of an opponent's monster and Synchro with it. 1 Card Destruction, because it discards all the cards in my hand, and I draw. I get to draw from it, and I get their discard effects when I discard it. 1 Monster Reborn, staple, you know what it does. Giant Trunade, you know what it does. Return all spells and traps. Dark Hole, because Dark Hole. 1 MST, because just pop a spell or trap. 1 My Body as a Shield, because I can protect my monsters from any destruction. It's really good for helping out my Synchro monsters if I don't have Stardust out yet. Onto the traps, I have 1 Karma Cut. Not a lot of people know what this does. I discard 1 card from my hand, usually a Fabled monster, and remove from play 1 monster on the field. And if they have any of the monster with the same name in their graveyard, I get to remove those as well. So it works well against decks with duplicates of cards, which is most decks, you know. 2 Bottomless, you know, Bottomless, what it does. 2 Summon Tools, because just 2 Summon Tools, you know. Negate trap cards. 2 Raigeki Breaks. Discard 1 card from my hand, and I get to pop 1 card on the field, usually a Fabled monster. Helps me Synchro summon too. And 2 Compulse, just because Compulse. That is my deck. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to hear what you think about it. People tell me I need to run I can't remember what it's called, but it's another Fabled monster I discard from my hand, and he gains a level. People say he's the basis of the deck, but my deck doesn't run that way, as you can see. Anyway, that is the deck, like I said. I hope you liked it. Blah blah blah. This is Blaze0507 signing off, and goodbye.